Promo alert, promo alert, promo alert. Today is your boy Titanic. Make sure you go follow him on Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that like button. Comment and let them know I sent you. Check out the latest hit.
Where them niggas at when you really need them? They all screaming gang when a hand can feed them. Take that cash away, I bet you see they fake. And probably Gemini's and wear a double face. Where them niggas at when you really need them? They all screaming gang when a hand can feed them. Take that cash away, I bet you see they fake. And probably Gemini's and wear a double face. Talking to my cousin East, you know I love you. And feel a vibe different every time I hug you. No matter what they say, every time you fall, you know if cuz around, I'ma dust you off.
What up, gang? I'm back with another video. I say I'm back with another video. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe. Yes, I said subscribe. Turn on your post notifications. It's free. Do it for me. What up, gang? I'm back with another video. Let's get straight into it, man. DJ Academics interviewed Vlad TV and spoke about the BTB Savage situation. And Vlad let it be known it was never no interview about music. It was the interview about the incident, like I told y'all. I told y'all BTB Savage wasn't hot enough to get no interview to talk about no music. His mama was capping. It was never about no music. That's cap. Nobody can tell me one song of BTB Savage talk about his music. No, gang. Vlad TV say the interview was mainly about and only about the incident that happened that night. And this is why Vlad TV interviewed people who have been in those situations. Because Vlad TV has been in a situation similar himself, where he had to shoot a man, but the man didn't die. So that's why he interviewed Soulja Boys and talk about the shootout. That's why he interviewed Hurricane Chris to talk about the shootout. That's why he interviewed BTB Savage to talk about the shootout, because he been in a similar situation, and he say he have a soft spot for those kind of guys that go through that situation, and he let them get a chance to tell their story. He say when he reached out to BTB Savage and BTB Savage came and sat down, just like I told y'all from the beginning. When I told y'all I contacted his homie told me, when he talked to him, he said, bro, I'm finna get on that bitch like Soulja Boy, but my shit is real. That's the same shit that Vlad just said. Said he told Vlad this finna be an interview like Soulja Boys. So at this point, everything my source has told me have came out to be true. And I told y'all this shit first before anybody ever said anything. So just note that when I say I got a source and they said this and that, this BTB Savage situation has proved that I don't be capping. I broke a lot of shit that nobody didn't know. But let's get into it. This Vlad on the inside of him and BTB Savage interview. Check it out.
One of the biggest stories that happened while the BTB Savage thing, man.
Yeah, rest in peace, BTB Savage. Rest in peace to the victim in that robbery that happened, and just a sad situation overall. Very sad.
I was in disbelief until after everything unfolded.
Yeah.
About just how serious and how real and how in real time shit was.
Yeah.
First and foremost, because there's a lot of people with questions and inquiring minds are gonna ask. How did you even encounter BTB Savage?
Sure. Okay, so the story of this rapper out of San Antonio surviving a home invasion robbery was making its rounds. You probably saw it as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? I wasn't familiar with BTB Savage. I wasn't familiar with his music, but the story itself was starting to circulate. So we started to DM each other, and I told him, hey, I'm glad you're okay. Number one, me personally, I've touched on this story before, with Boosie and a couple other people. I survived a home invasion. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like you've told pieces of it, but
Yeah.
We never really know. We never knew when it happened, and like
it happened around 2005, maybe 2005, 2006. If I were to, I'd have to look it up again, but yeah, right around that time. Staying at a girl's house who I had met. It was like our second date, middle of the night. She woke me up, said someone's at my window. I'm not realizing that we're on a second story condo, and the window she's referring to is a balcony. There's a balcony behind that window. So
how was someone there?
I go to the window and I pull back the curtain, and there's a guy staring at me on the balcony.
Does he have a weapon?
What's that?
Does he have a weapon? Or
I don't know yet.
It's
But I'm
probably
like
dark.
like a deer in the headlights. You don't expect something like that. So he attacks me and jumps in through the window. And she runs out and leaves me to die, basically. And
This is her spot, right?
this is her spot.
Holy shit.
So
Another thing, we learned the same situation with Trouble. Y'all gotta stop going to these females' house that you don't know like that. And Trouble knew her. But at the same time, when I say know like that, y'all don't know if these women be in relation with other men. So as a man, that gotta always be in your head, like, yeah, she fucking with somebody else. Somebody else may have access to her address or her house. Hey, I'm gonna take her to my crib, and if I don't want to bring her to my crib, we going to a hotel. That's the mentality that these guys gotta have now to survive.
without getting into too many details, it turned into a really bloody, violent situation that I managed to walk away from. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately. Yeah. I mean, I still have cuts on my hand and my eyes from that night, but
Really?
yeah, but I walked away and he didn't walk away, essentially. Although he did survive. Let me just put that out there. But that situation changed my life.
And for the guy that broke in that chick house and Vlad put them butt shells in your ass, hit me up, gang. I want to do an interview. I want to hear your side of the story, gang.
In terms of how I view things and the way I approach people and how I handle my fear and so forth. When you go through something like that and you survive, it gives you a different way of looking at the world. You know what I mean? Because I felt like I was going to die that night because he was acting like he had a gun. You know what I'm saying? He was asking me if I was ready to die and those types of things. You see what I'm saying? So being able to ultimately walk away from that through violence, basically, I just looked at things a little differently, and I don't get scared of threats or tough talk or whatever else because I've been there before. You know what I mean? So saying that, when it comes to people who've been through similar situations like that, I have sort of a kind of a special place in my heart for people who survive home invasions and so forth. Remember, I did the interview with,
You did with Draco.
Draco?
Yeah. Soulja Boy.
Well, the Soulja Boy situation, for Ben J from the New Boys. Remember, he killed a guy that was trying to rob him?
Yeah.
So there's been multiple, and then I just recently did one with Hurricane Chris, who just beat a second-degree murder charge. You know what I'm saying? So I have sort of a special place in my heart to people who protect their homes and people who have attacks done in their home and manage to walk away from it.
And I just want to say, for the future interviews for you rappers, you celebrities, do y'all see how Vlad TV just conducted himself, explaining the situation that happened between him and somebody else? You see he didn't go to detail. You see, hey man, I just pulled a wonder bite He was right there. I'm like a deer in the headlights. A scuffle went down. I made it out. He didn't make it out so cool, but he survived. And left it right there. He didn't put no extra on it. He didn't and all that shit there. He didn't, I put her in and told him, Be mindful, bro. It ain't what you say, it's how you say it.
I think a lot of people feel the same.
Yeah. You know, I've had a personal experience with it, is what I'm saying.
Well, obviously the personal experience, but even like, for example, somebody like Pop Smoke, like we all think about the Pop Smoke situation, where it's like the place you probably feel the most comfortable, even though it was in an Airbnb, you still feel like you're in a safe place where you're gonna lay your head. You feel protected, but then something else happens and it's going crazy. I think that's why the BTB Savage story was a little bit, like the audacity of the story.
So we started to DM each other, and I asked him if he was interested in doing an interview, and he said, absolutely, this is going to be bigger than Soulja Boy. You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, cool. And it even got to the point, like, because I think he had changed his number, because we had contacted him, and then like a little time had passed, and he hit me back. He's like, hey man, like, I still want to do, I'll pay you to do the interview. And I'm like, no, it's cool. Like, we just couldn't contact you. It's still good.
BTB was begging for that interview because, like I said in one of my other videos, that shit was gonna change his life. It was gonna change his career. Like I said in my live, when you get a Vlad TV interview, I don't care where you at in your career, your shit gonna go up a little bit, gang. Because you got millions and millions and millions of people watching you, gang. Your shit gonna go up, so people will do whatever it takes to sit down with Vlad. I be hearing y'all talk about don't do interviews with Vlad. Listen, them motherfuckers would do interviews with Vlad and put their freedom on the line, you hear me, and their life, because they want the fame. They want the money. You got motherfuckers out here risking their life and getting on these songs and snitching on they self for free. You don't think they gonna go on Vlad and tell it for fame?
It happened. So we did the interview, and before the interview started, like, I didn't know the whole story, right? I didn't, realize that his girlfriend was there and was involved in it. So we kind of, before the interview started, he kind of went through the whole story from beginning to end, just so I could have like a blueprint for it. And I'm like, okay, cool, I got the story. So he basically retold the same story again on camera. And I just want to point out that I was having, after it came out, there was accusations that I had cut out.
Yeah, I seen that
part of the interview.
Right? Did I come from the mother or whatever? Like, it was a music interview, and
it was the mother. And let me just say this. My extreme condolences to BTB Savage's mother. I cannot imagine what it's like to lose a child, to have to bury your 26-year-old son, as a mother. I can't even comprehend it. And I know that she's going through her own thing, and, people deal with pain in their own type of way. But the accusations of, we were doing the interview and BTB Savage said, hey man, I don't want to talk about it. Condolences to family. I just want to talk about music. That never happened.
Listen, I told y'all from the beginning, that's fucking cap. That never happened. You know why? Because Vlad would never bring a BTB Savage on his platform to talk about music, and your shit ain't popping. Only way you get an interview on Vlad TV about your music if you already a star, gang.
And she even claimed that she has the footage from his phone. So, she's welcome to put that out if that's the case.
Hey, and guess what? I'm with Vlad because one thing about Vlad, he stand on principle and he got a reputation to uphold. If he said that and the mother have footage of that, you think he gonna get on DJ Academics and lie? That's something very small. If his mama had footage of that situation right there, she would have been put it out. Matter of fact, I'll pay her $2,000
to send me just that little piece where he said, I don't want to talk about it no more, condolence to the family. She can chop that bitch up if she want. I pay her $2,000 just to send me that little piece, that little 5-second clip of saying, I don't want to talk about it no more, condolences to the family.
That just never happened.
When I watched the interview, it felt like there's a clear intro, and then at the end it's like, hey, okay, you know, well, hopefully we talk again. But that was the end. It didn't feel like it was like, all right, so now let's just talk about the music. Or,
well, you know, I mean, listen, he wasn't a prominent music artist.
Yeah.
Just to be honest. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I said, didn't I just say that? Like, bruh, BTB Savage wasn't known for his music, not around the world. So why would Vlad bring him on a platform to talk about his music? People in San Antonio never heard of no fucking BTB Savage, with all due respect. When I went live, I had over 12,000 people in the live, in and out. And I'm constantly asking, have you heard of BTB? Nobody heard of BTB Savage until he did the Vlad interview. Let's be for real. If y'all really think BTB Savage went on Vlad TV or was allowed to go on Vlad TV to talk about his music, y'all have to be delusional. When have you seen Vlad TV put an artist that's not already a big imprint in the game on his platform? Make it make sense.
To be realistic, he was contacted about this particular situation from the get. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to talk about your music. Oh, we'll also throw it in. No, it's like, we're talking about the situation because as a music artist, he was still very much underground and up and coming. Not just that he could have not progressed into something, you know, substantial, but at the point, he didn't really have a lot of views and really didn't have any hit songs and so forth. So the interview was solely based on the situation. But at no point did he say, I don't want to talk about it, or you know, I just want to talk about the music, condolences to the family. That never happened. We wouldn't have cut that out. And we never cut that out. And if anyone has that, they're welcome to put it out. So we did the interview. And you know, I was a little surprised as to the approach that he took and the way that he was describing it. I could somewhat relate because when you get through a situation like that and you manage to walk out of a room when someone just tried to kill you, your adrenaline is going to be going for a long time. It's not, you know, that day, I remember my adrenaline was through the fucking roof. But for the weeks and months to come afterwards, you're still sort of on this like, wow, like I almost died and I survived. You know, so I understood some of the bravado of his voice, but you know, if you watch the interview, I was asking him, I said, are you worried about the retaliation? And his answer was somewhat braggadocious, right? And I said, well, are you considering moving away? Because I've had too many interviews like this with like a FBG Duck or a Mo3 where I talk about, you know, saying that, hey, moving away is probably a good idea right now, and they always argue with me and so forth. And once again, he said, no, I'm not moving away. And there was kind of some more bragging that had to do with that. So, you know, we finished off the interview. We put it out all in one piece because there was really just one topic.
I was shocked that he did that. It was like, it was 30 minutes.
It was only 30 minutes. It was just one topic. We didn't feel that it made sense to chop it up. Mm-hmm. Right? Let's just put it out as one piece and leave it as is. It took us about, I don't know, a week and a half to put it together.
I'm going to say this again. We cannot blame Vlad for nothing, nobody, for a grown man, and this just not to BTB Savage. This for any celebrity that sit on any platform and speak about events that actually happen. We cannot blame any platform for any grown person go on the platform and speak about real events that happen in their life. We gotta cut the bullshit. You can't make no grown man say shit. I'm done faking with y'all. I'm done faking with y'all. Ain't no way Vlad is responsible for nothing a grown man say out their mouth. Let's stop the bullshit, gang. And let's look in the mirror and stop blaming other people for our shortcomings and blame ourselves. Like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notification. It's free. Do it for me. Okay. Hey, do me a favor. Look down right there to the bottom left and hit that like button for me. Hit that like button right there. I appreciate it. Now continue watching. Promo alert. If you need promo, DM me on Instagram at music101CEO. Music101CEO. $30 for one promo video on YouTube. $50 for 3 promo videos on YouTube. $70 for 6 promo videos on YouTube. And $130 for 12 promo videos on YouTube. You trying to get your numbers up? You trying to get your business up? Hit me up at Music101. See, the results is great.